What is this?
But it also touches on right to choice versus, you know what I mean? So
Man sentenced to prison for botched castration in cabin in the woods. Okay. What? Bob Lee Allen met the victim on on a web forum for people looking to voluntarily remove their own testicles.
okay. Yo, but you got it. Okay. So you when you read it, because right now you're reading it and I could hear your shock as you're
Yeah, I didn't read the
as you're
story.
reading everything.
I didn't read. So it
Like
says
I know. I could tell. That's why this is hilarious.
So it says in October 2020, Bob Lee Allen and his husband, Thomas Evans Gates III, brought their patient to a cabin in southeast Oklahoma after connecting with them through a castration forum, a now defunct forum, which is important to say. Now, the voluntarily unit community. I didn't think I'd ever hear that word for a very okay. The unit community, people seek out cutters for a variety of reasons, some having to do with gender identity and others out of physical discomfort with their own balls. All right. So Allen's patient was awake for the 2 hour procedure, according to the Oklahoman, with local anesthetics only. So that's not fun. So being awake, barely, well, still feeling it, but not really, while somebody's cutting your dick off. All right. Who's on board for that? After the surgery was over, Allen said that he was going to consume the parts. He was going to consume the parts and laughed and said that he was a cannibal. According to the affidavit, a claim which Allen denied. Investigators found body parts in a freezer in the cabin's bedroom. The couple was caught because Allen botched the operation. The victim went to the hospital for bleeding, and Allen and his husband, who also participated in the surgery but testified against him as part of the plea agreement, tried to visit the victim there where they were arrested. Wow.
I'm sorry. I couldn't stop laughing throughout that whole thing, and there was a plethora of reasons. Obviously, the story itself is hilarious and ridiculous all at the same time. But that was the first time I think I've heard somebody read something and be able to also read their reaction to the story at the same time. You reading that article.
In case y'all didn't know, YouTube is not our biggest fan. They be showing our videos to some people. Sometimes they don't. Some people get notifications. Some people don't. And you know what? It's because we like to speak our opinion on this. Two guys doing a podcast. We got two very unique opinions every single time. So what we need you to do is we need you to drop a like, okay? I'm going to need you to drop a like, okay? It's going to help the algorithm, help our page get seen, help people hear our opinions, okay? Let's break the YouTube code. Drop a like right now, all right? Let's get back to the video.
Was amazing because I'm literally watching you in shock read each word and get more shocked as the story progressed.
That was disgusting. That was disgusting. First of all, a eunuch, in case you're truly unaware, is basically a man who says "cut my dick off," and for the reasons or possibly more that we just read. So okay, I guess homie wanted to be a eunuch. But why would you? Can you actually go to a hospital and request that surgery? Is that something that you can request to have professionally done? I want to know if you can. And then if that is an option, why didn't you just go that route? Why did you go the cabin in the woods route?
There is no. There is an option. There is an option. Let me answer the question. It's transgenders. Transgender. If you're transgendered, you want to do the surgery. That's exactly what you're doing. So
why not just go that route?
Lots of reasons. Listen, this is one of those things where you could compare it to Dr. Jack Kevorkian, where he obviously was infamous as aiding people who wanted suicide. And are there other ways of going about? Could people commit their own suicides? Absolutely, they could have. If they wanted to, they could have done it themselves. But they went out and they seek somebody else to help them out and do it. Why would you do that? So many reasons. One of them is mainly financial, probably. One of them is maybe you don't have the balls to go out and, well, for lack of a better pun, you don't have the balls to go out and fucking do it yourself or find somebody to do it that's professional. You don't want the word to get out there that this is happening. So you seek somebody who's more behind closed doors or black market so you can keep a little bit more of your privacy away from the people. But the main reason that you do something like this is you're fucking crazy. Let's be real. That's the main reason that you do this, because the one thing that I know about this guy right here, if we ever speak on anything, any topic, and you can go watch any topics where we spoke about anything that has anything to do with science or medicine or anything like that, some part throughout the video, he's going to let you know that we are not medical experts.
Yeah.
We are not professionals.
At all.
Do not take this advice. Blah, 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 blah. What I'm saying is maybe we're seeking out the wrong audience, because clearly there's an audience of people who want non-medical professionals, and they're seeking them out in masses. And whether they're part of the unit community, I don't know if we feel like we want to become part of that community, the voice of it.
I'm good.
But
Thanks.
the options are out there is what I'm saying. There's options are out there. And hey, we'll have less people with less balls to deal with. You know what I mean? Maybe they'll be nicer.
Well, going back to the couple who performed the surgery, it's weird because were they all that bad? Like, were they as bad as people are trying to make them out to be? They offered a service. They offer a service, and I'm assuming this wasn't their first time doing it. Maybe it was, I don't know, but they offer a service. This person said, okay, I want that. Cool. So they brought them to the spot. They got what they needed to get done. The surgery, unfortunately, was botched, had to go to the hospital. The couple that performed the surgery felt bad enough to try to visit the person. So it's not like they were like, hey, I'm just some sick fuck and I just want to cut dude's balls off because I have, this is my thing. No, like this is their thing, as in they want to help people. It didn't go over well, unfortunately. Let's go visit this person. So are we demonizing the people who perform the surgery, or are we just looking at the whole situation as it's fucked? Because I'm not looking at the people who perform the surgery like assholes. I'm not.
Right.
Because to your point with Jack Kevorkian, assisted suicide, a lot of people would be looking at that guy like, how the fuck do you do that job? But the person who is
what people want
out the service are like, you are my savior.
They're in pain. They can't do it themselves. Their family probably doesn't want to allow them to go out and do it. So they go out and they seek another way to go out and do it. That's the point that I'm trying to make. Like there's a market out there for it. And the fact that people are getting charged and all this stuff, it's a tough thing. It's a tough thing for me to talk about, because if these people who are going to these non-medical professionals felt like they had an alternative or another way to go about it, for you to think that they wouldn't do that, for you to think that this would be anybody's first option to go out and seek somebody who's non-medical, like that's it. If they had all the options available to them, this is the number one choice. That's never happening. There has to be reasons for going to it, but whatever, they made the choice to come to me. I'm not going to them, so why am I getting in trouble?
Well, there was probably nothing signed. There was probably no paperwork. Therefore, you're held liable. Like if somebody comes to your house and gets hammered and leaves, and they get into a car
all right,
accident,
cool.
it's you.
Cool. Let me buy you 2 new balls. Let me buy you 2 new balls. You know they have those little Chinese, the little sound, the ones that they make there.
Yeah.
The warm.
I don't think that's gonna work. I don't think that's gonna work. In
I'm just saying you could have some titaniums. You know what I'm saying? You could have some real titanium. Then when you go and you pick up your next girl and she's talking about what makes you so special, what makes you so special? What do you bring to the table? You could tell her, baby, you don't know about me, man. When it gets time to do it, I'm going to throw this down. I'm going to show you how I do it titanium style. I'm just saying. It sounds great to me.
See, obviously he's a glass half full person, but
it's so full and it's orange juice in my glass.
When it comes to my balls and my friend, he loves me and I love him, and I do any and everything possible to keep him safe. Okay. So I don't know, viewing public, you tell me what your thoughts are on this. Obviously the story's fucked up, but I'm speaking more to this couple being charged. Why?
Right.
Why? Leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I guess shout out to the whole unit community. We now see you. Deuces. They exist.
Yo, thanks for watching that video, making it all the way to the end. You made it this far, you have to like, please subscribe and comment on the video as well. Join the conversation.
Absolutely. We finally hit our goal of 500 subscribers. Yes,
Yes,
we are
sir.
trying to get to 1,000, and we can only do that with your help. You can start by watching that next video. You see that tiny little icon? Click on that icon, rinse and repeat. Deuces.
Deuce.